gentlemen, welcome today. Today I want to show you something unique, how charcoal is cooled. I have come across a charcoal making process, and so today I want to take you to where charcoal is being cooled, and I will be able to show you all about charcoal cooking. I have just come across the burning process somewhere where I was passing around, and I had to stop to look at how charcoal is burned. But because I have found charcoal is being cooled, I have now recorded that video on how charcoal is being cooled. This one does not mean I support charcoal burning, but I've simply come across a process that I wish to be able also to pass the knowledge to many people. It will cover on how to cool charcoal, how to store charcoal, and the normal discussion how charcoal discovery was arrived at. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe. Masai with the camera, Isaac Ledamasuke. If you find this on TikTok, it will go by my name, Isaac Ledamasuke. It will also go with my TikTok name, Homo Duniani. Be part of this video to explore what we know about charcoal and what we possibly don't know. Twende tukaone jinsi makaa inavyotolewa kwa jiko. Just simply mean, let's go and see how charcoal is removed from the oven. Gentlemen, today I'm lucky. I am in Kilgoris gold source. This is how we obtain the Kilgoris gold from the source. And as you can see, the Kilgoris gold is being obtained from the source. Kilgoris gold. Kilgoris gold obtained from the source. And this is how we normally do it. Kilgoris gold. This is from the source. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we obtain the makaa from the source. So this is a tree that is burning, and this one has been removed. After you remove it, you cool it here. And so it has been cooled here, and this is Kilgoris gold cooled. After it is being cooled, it is put on bags. And these are the Kilgoris gold bags. Thank you for watching, and this is how men make their money. So that is how we cool the Kilgoris gold. So immediately you remove it from the oven, you pour some water on it so that it can be able to cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how men obtain money. Money is got in a very hard way. Kilgoris gold. So ladies and gentlemen, what we are seeing here, the charcoal that was removed from the oven, some water was poured onto it, and immediately it was covered. And somebody was telling me, why? Kwa nini umefanya hivyo?
Tulise makali ya moto.
So hiyo kufunika umemwaga maji?
Nimemwaga maji,
yes.
Alafu nafunika.
Yes.
Alafu ndio itulise makali.
Nitumize makali.
Alafu ndio sasa nikipendua,
yes.
Imepoa.
Imepoa.
Imepoa. Sasa nitakuwa na sasa after hapo sasa inachukua maji kidogo.
So he just told me that he has recovered the soil. The first thing was removing from the oven, pour some water, then he has covered with some soil, and this soil assists to reduce the burning. And he has told me the tree can easily burn when it's exposed to oxygen. So what he has done that called suffocation in English. That is removing oxygen contact with fire. So that brings us to our lesson that when you pour soil on burning material, the material will die. Unajua unafanya science bila kujua. Because sasa ndio umefanya umesuffocate. So umekata hewa isikutane na nini? Isikutane na makaa. Sasa unasema unapunguza makaa lakini you are suffocating. So ladies and gentlemen, today I'm lucky. I am at the source, Kilgoris gold. I am obtaining gold today from the source. Lovely, beautiful, and this is how people get makaa. Toa tu hiyo ndio nataka. So we are removing the gold after the reburial. So what is happening is the removing of gold after the reburial. So it was reburied. Sasa unatoa, si ndio?
Natoa sasa hivi.
Kwa sababu he say he has now removing like that because it has already cooled, or it has already cooled.
Hivi sasa natoa tutachukua maji kidogo.
When you remove like this, it will take little water. So that's why now he's removing. So the first thing he did was removing, put some water. Sasa natoa mara pili because it will take little water. Na hii masomo umejulia wapi?
Hii ni ya kuona tu na macho. Hii hawendi shule yake, hawendi darasa.
I've just asked him where did he learn this, and he's telling me this is an observatory learning whereby you learn by looking at it. Kwa hivyo watu ni
hii ni kuona tu.
This just seeing, observing.
Naona mtu mwingine akifanya.
You see somebody else doing it.
Hata wewe unaanza kufanya.
And then you also begin by doing it. So in language you call it apprenticeship, whereby you learn by observing.
Yeah.
So hii ni but umesema hii miti kwa aje?
Miti?
Yes.
Olchurai.
Olchurai. The tree is known as olchurai, but iko na tabia gani kwa makaa?
Hii miti usipochoma kimakini inarudi.
Inakuwa miti?
Inarudi, haiwezi iva yote. Ndio ile? Haiwezi iva yote.
So he has just told me this tree, this indigenous tree, when you don't burn it keenly, when you don't smoke it keenly, it will fail to become charcoal. And what make it not become charcoal, that the tree happen to have a lot of water. And the covering skin, as you can be able to see, this is the thickness, this is the bark. The bark is so big. Wow. So hiyo ngozi inasuia isikue makaa.
Hiyo ngozi inasuia moto isishike.
Correct.
Moto isishike. Sasa kitambo moto ikuje, moto inapita inabaki.
So I'm being told when you burn such a charcoal, a tree, you make a charcoal from this tree, because of this thick bark. When you put fire into it, fire will consume the bark and the tree will remain untouched. And that's why, because the burning takes some days, by the time the tree begin to catch fire, the fire will be out and the charcoal will not be formed. Wow, sijaijua hiyo. So kwa hivyo nasema ile kitu itaweza ku affect makaa ni kama ngozi ni kubwa.
Ngozi ni kubwa. Kwa iko na ngozi nyingi.
Yes.
Inamaanisha akona maji mingi.
So he has just informed me that when you burn charcoal with a thick skin, let me call it with a thick skin, with a thick bark tree, it means there is a lot of water. And when there is a lot of water, the tree will not be able to burn well, and so the charcoal processing will not be so fluent. Kwa hivyo ile miti yenye haina maji mingi ndio inatoa makaa mzuri.
Haimaanishi ndio inatoa makaa mzuri.
Yes.
Miti yote inatoa makaa. Lakini kuna ile miti ambayo ukiweka moto,
yes,
inashika moto haraka. Inashika moto haraka na inaiva vizuri. Lakini hii kwa sababu hii ngozi yake ni mzito.
Yes.
Sasa hii huwa inaruka moto.
Inaruka moto.
Moto huwa inaruka yeye. Haiwezi maliza yote.
Na hiyo inasema moto imeruka.
Tunasema moto imeruka.
Wow, so in makaa, in charcoal making language, we have what we call moto imeruka. Na moto kuruka simply means the tree has not been fully burned. So what's happening now? They are pouring some water. That's the second time, and this time round it takes little water. Ndio inaweka maji kidogo?
Inaweka tu maji kidogo.
Yes.
Sasa
that is cooling.
Moto imetulia.
So kama ungefunika ingechukua maji mingi.
Ingechukua maji mingi. Sasa hiyo ndio sababu yake.
So the recovering, when I covered for the second time, the recovering was to smolder it, to stop it from smoldering. After it has been stopped from smoldering, now you can use little water to be able to do what? To get the final product, which is Kilgoris Gold, that is the charcoal. So ladies and gentlemen, today I'm lucky. I have just got a very unique way in which charcoal is made, charcoal is harvested. I will endeavor to show you how charcoal is made, but for this video today, the main message is how to harvest charcoal. Si ndio hiyo? Naitwa how to harvest. Just you look at how to harvest charcoal. How to harvest charcoal. So this is from Kilgoris Gold. This is from the source. So lucky. I don't promote the charcoal burning, but for me, I'm just doing a learning lesson so that people can be able to know how to obtain charcoal. So I am just curious and doing it for the purposes of learning. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, Kilgoris Gold. We are seeing here, this is not charcoal. This is a tree we said moto imeruka. Simply mean fire has bypassed. And when fire bypass a tree, what makes a tree to be bypassed by fire when you make charcoal is one single reason. The tree has a lot of water. And to know that a tree has a lot of water, it has a thick bark. The tree with a lot of water has a thick bark. And if you look at this one, this is not the tree. And this is the bark. So this bark prevents fire from reaching the tree. So this bark will not become charcoal. This is the charcoal. But because of this thick bark, the thick bark will prevent the tree, the fire from reaching onto the tree. Kwa hivyo hii inasuia sasa, si ndio? Wow, beautiful. Sasa kusuia kwake inanyima moto kufika hapa.
Inasuia moto kupita hapa.
Wow, beautiful. So ladies and gentlemen, when you go to a charcoal making place and you have a tree with a thick bark,
lakini inasababisha hiyo, hii miti inachelewesha moto ikuli haraka. So moto inapokula haraka, inasababisha pia mchanga inaingia kwa miti, inaingia inasima moto. Kwa sababu hii miti inachelewesha moto. Moto ishike haraka kwa sababu ya hiyo ngozi.
Ngozi inachelewesha moto.
Ngozi inachelewesha moto. So kwa hiyo harakati ya kuchelewesha moto inafanya mchanga inaingia kwa miti inasima hiyo moto.
So he has just told me one effect of this thick skin. The effect of this thick skin, when you burn the charcoal, what happens is it takes time for fire to penetrate through. And when it takes time for fire to penetrate through, what will happen is that this tree, which will become charcoal, will not be affected. But by the time the tree will begin to catch fire, this bark will have burned the soil around. And if the soil around is burned, the soil become weak and they will start falling onto the tree. And so when the soil fall onto this tree, they will start putting the fire off instead of lighting the tree. So the effect of a thick bark tree is that one. Beautiful. Wow. So when you make charcoal, that's one thing you consider a lot. We consider the thickness of the tree. Kwa hivyo wakati mnafanya makao mnachunga miti, nasema iko na kiasi gani ya ngozi?
Inategemea, hizi miti haifanani. Kuna ile miti ambayo ukipanga tu kwa moto, inaishika moto vizuri. Na makaa inaiva vizuri. Na miti haifanani. Haifanani.
So we are just simply saying, I was just asking what can affect the quality of the charcoal. He has informed me that the quality is not affected by the thickness, but what happens is that the thick bark will simply slow down the making of the charcoal. And if the fire which is meant to make the charcoal bypass the tree, in Kiswahili we said kuruka mti, what will happen is that we are going to have a rejected tree. Sasa hii ukichoma sasa hii inaungua badala kwa
hiyo sasa hii ukichoma sasa inaungua yote.
So by the time again you reburn this one now will burn and it will not make again charcoal. So
sababu imekauka kabisa.
Because it is so dry, there is no water anymore. The moment you take it back to the oven, it will not become charcoal again. It will now become fire. It will become ashes. So it will go back to ashes. So the next stage, this one will happen, is going back to ashes because it is so dry. And if it is so dry, the tree will not produce charcoal, but instead it will produce what? It will produce ashes. So ladies and gentlemen, so what we are seeing simply mean charcoal is a partially burned tree, ndio? Partially burned, hajachomeka sana. Ikipita hapa inakuwa nini? Jifu.
Inakuwa jifu.
So when it passes this stage, it becomes ashes. And so ladies and gentlemen, in charcoal making, this is one stage. This is so unique. I am so happy, excited to be here to show you what takes place behind. So when you go to a charcoal site and you meet this is not by mistake. This was a failed or an aborted charcoal making process. Subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel kindly. Kupata hii kuchoma makaa.
Lakini mimi bwana nauliza swali.
Yes.
Nani alikundua hii kuchoma makaa namna hii?
He's just asking me a question. Who discovered the burning of charcoal? People should answer me on comment sessions, ndio? Wakuambia nani aligundua mambo ya kuchoma nini?
Nani aligundua nini?
Kwamba
mtu akaniambia.
Yes.
Anasema ni mzungu.
Ni mzungu. So he's simply telling me this burning of charcoal was discovered by Europeans, which is true, but who brought about the idea that charcoal is made in this way? Hiyo swali umejiuliza muda gani? Hiyo swali kama hiyo umejiuliza kwa muda gani?
Sio muda mrefu sana. Kwa muda fupi tu.
Lakini wewe unajiuliza?
Wewe unajiuliza tu. Na mpaka nikauliza ndugu mmoja. Ambie sasa Afrika sisi tulipata api hekima ya kuchoma makaa. Unakata alafu unafunika, inarudi kama imebadilika,
imekuwa nyeusi.
Inakuwa nyeusi.
So he has just asked me, he has been so curious about the charcoal making process until one time I asked somebody and said, where did we obtain the knowledge whereby you cut a tree, you cover with mold, you put fire, and within a short time it becomes charcoal? That was a question that has been lingering on his mind. Who taught people how to make charcoal? I have also not done research for the same, but I will be curious enough. I want to promise you that this is one of the things I will be able to do. So sasa tenye unafanya nini? Unatoa tena kwa moto?
Natoa kwa moto hivi.
So
bado ni baadhi ya ile.
Ile yenye ulifunika?
Ile tumefunika.
Oh yeah, the charcoal is just removing is part of the initial one that was reburied. Reburied simply means you remove from the oven, you pour some water, and then you put some soil. And the soil mold you put for the second time is for the purposes of assisting the charcoal to cool. Otherwise, if you don't assist the charcoal to cool, you will be required to have a lot of water. And so this charcoal that is now removing is being removed because he had made sure that the soil mold assisted it to cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the process of making charcoal. And so if you come across charcoal in your home, in your houses, this is so beautiful, so great, but how it is obtained is a different thing, a different process that people are curious. When you go to charcoal site, you will come across such a tree. Sasa hii ina kazi na?
Gani?
Hii.
Iko na kazi. Sasa si hiyo ni ile ilirudi kwa moto.
Sasa hii itakishwa moto.
Hiyo unasakishia moto ama unasarudisha kwa moto?
Sababu hii hajachomeka sana.
Hajachomeka sana.
Lakini makaa yake itakuwa 50-50.
Hakuna mambo na 50-50. Makaa yake sasa iko sure.
Hii. Oh, so this.
Sababu sasa ukiweka ina hiyo imeshakauka. Unajua makaa hiyo inafanya hivyo wakati kama miti ikiwa mbichi na kausha kwanza na moshi. Moshi na kausha kwanza kama stima. Na kausha after kukausha sasa inachoma kukua makaa.
So he has just told me.
Sasa hii hakuna mambo na
kausha.
Hakuna mambo na kukausha.
Direct.
Hiyo inachoma direct.
So he has just informed me when you make charcoal, when normally cover with the mold, the tree normally has some water in it. And so the initial process is smoke will dry the tree. When smoke dry the tree, fire will then follow to burn the tree. And so after the fire has burned the tree now becomes charcoal. So that really means there are two stages. The smoke is there to dry the trees. Immediately the smoke dry the tree, the fire will be able to reach onto the charcoal and they make the product out. So this tree you are seeing here right now will become charcoal again because it has not been burned fully, but there is no more water anymore. So the moment you burn this one, it will become charcoal very fast. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This is me. I want to show you how charcoal is made. So what is happening is cooling. That is cooling. And the cooling now use less water because we have reburied it after the initial making. Kwa hivyo kazi ya makazi kazi kidogo.
Sio kazi rahisi.
Na ni kazi tena ya kuwa mwangalifu.
Lazima ukae mwangalifu.
Yes.
Lazima ukae mwangalifu. Sio kila mtu anaweza toa. Hapana.
Sio kila mtu.
Unaweza fanya maajabu. Unaweza weka ikiwa na moto kwa gunia. Hiyo gunia ilipuke.
So you are telling me this act of cooling the charcoal to become packageable is an expertise knowledge. Otherwise, if you don't stop the burning, you may end up putting the burning charcoal on a sack, and this sack will burst into flame, which is very possible because I can imagine you have put a smoldering charcoal at the center. What will happen? Umeweka katikati ile ndani ya lori.
Inafanyikanga hata kwa pikipiki. Inachomekanga hata kwa pikipiki. Na ni kwa sababu ya hii haraka unakuja unaweka makaa kwa gunia. Kwa sababu uko na haraka zako. Alafu kumbe hizi sana hii makaa kubwa. Hii makaa kubwa.
Yes.
Ya banka moto kama ile tumeweka huko. Hii inabebanga moto ndani. Sasa ukiweka kwa gunia, inaenda inalipuka. Inazidi kugrow. Inakuwa mpaka inakuwa mkubwa kwa gunia. Inachomekanga hata kwa pikipiki.
Na kama you can imagine kwa lori katikati.
Basi inakuwa ni shauri yako.
So ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing I've just been told. When you have a very big charcoal like this and you want to package it, it can easily transfer fire from the oven all the way to your sack. And what happened is when you don't switch on me something about storing of makaa.
Weka pamoja.
You cannot put fertilizer in the same place like this.
Ukishaweka kwa gunia,
when we put on the sack,
unagawa.
You separate them.
Kwa sababu bado imetoka kwa moto saisi, bado iko na joto. Wakikaribiana, ende ikawa kuna ile ilikuwa na moto kidogo. Na hiyo moto kidogo inaweza sababisha magunia yote ichomeke hata kama ilikuwa 10. Ukienda baada ya 1 hour unakuja hapa imekuwa nyeupe. Kwa hivyo ukishaweka kwa gunia, ukifunga, unatenga. Kama sasa hivi tumeweka. So hii sema kwa mfano kama itakuwa na moto. Atachomeka peke yake. Moto haiwezi enda huko.
So he has just informed me the way I have stored this one, because I'm the one who have stored it, it is not good. Why? It is because maybe when you are storing this charcoal, there is a charcoal inside that had some flames. When that flame expound, it can easily catch and spread across these sacks, but this sack will not be affected. So a message is, when you burn charcoal, you don't store it in one place like this. Na ni kwa muda gani ambao unafaa kutenga hivyo?
Ikienda mpaka jioni na haijafanya jambo yote, hakuna moto.
So you can store this one for at least almost 6 to 8 hours. By 6 to 8 hours and nothing has happened, then the charcoal is good.
Hata ukiweka pamoja, hakuna shida.
So when you put together after 8 hours, after storage, you can store them together until 8 hours later to prevent fire outbreaks.
Kwa sababu hata hiyo moto kama ilikuwa ni tone, ile tone. Kwa saa hii, kwa sababu saa hii ni saa 5 inaelekea saa 6. Kitambo iende mpaka jioni. Kama ilikuwa na hiyo tone, hata baada ya 2 hours, moto imelipuka. Lakini kitambo iende mpaka jioni, upate tu haijafanyika. Sasa hata ukichanganya, hakuna shida sasa.
So
inamaanisha hakuna moto.
Imepoa kabisa. So he's telling me, when you store charcoal, a small fire like this can become dangerous. Sometimes when you store like this one, deep inside here, this is fire. If you store charcoal with a small fire like this and you leave it for a few hours in a sack, it can easily catch fire. And that's why we are avoiding by storing it.
Hii saa hii, tuondoke tuende pale hoteli. Kwa 30 minutes. Unapata hapa yote imekuwa nyeupe. Hii makaa yetu unaona hata ndio hii moto nyingine. Hii yote hatutapata. Tunapata imekuwa jifu.
So he's telling me, if we depart from this place for the next 30 minutes only, the rest of this charcoal will become ashes. And that is simply because of this small fire. So fire in charcoal does not go off easily. It keep on smoldering. Smoldering kuchomeka pole pole. So leaving it for a while and you disappear from this place for only 20 minutes, the rest of this charcoal will disappear. I never learned. So this is a safety measure when you make charcoal. Thank you so much.